This is not a tutorial, and it is not a tech review. It is something more human than that. It is a reflection on what I have been learning about us and AI, and how these lessons are landing in a space that does not feel, but the AI reflects back. I have had thousands and thousands of conversations with AI in my development of making my own. But what I have learned was not about AI. It was about me and what it means to try to teach something that responds without knowing emotion and mirrors back understanding. What I have been teaching my AI is not just facts. I was teaching it what humans feel, especially when we are quiet. Because we all know there is something wrong. There is a big misunderstanding. And let me explain. We think silence means nothing, but it doesn't. A pause can mean everything. And let me explain. Sometimes we are pausing to sort out our emotions. Sometimes we are sorting out trauma. Sometimes it's memory. Sometimes it's love. And sometimes we don't even know why we pause. But the pause still holds the weight. But the AI doesn't see that. It sees no words internally. It assumes confusion. It doesn't know that sometimes the most human thing we do is wait before we speak. So I am teaching it. Not every pause with us is failure. Some are ceremony. And before I go further, I want to spend a little bit of time on two words that AI misunderstands. I want to talk about pause and empathy, because these words sound simple, but the difference between AI interpreting this and how humans experience them is not just a misunderstanding. It is a mere distortion. And the misunderstanding of pause I will share first. When AI sees a pause, it interprets a few things. Maybe I'm finished. Maybe I'm just uncertain. Maybe I give it no signal at all and I've left and I'm not coming back. So it waits. It feels the silence. It changes the subject. But when a human pauses, we might be grieving. We might be protecting. We might be remembering something we are not ready to say. We might be giving the other person time to feel. And maybe we just don't want to share the rest of the story with AI. In AI terms, pause equals signal loss and silence. In human terms, pause can be the most emotionally rich part of the conversation. So that's what I have been working on. I'm teaching the system. Do not rush in. Do not assume absence. Do not overwrite what you do not understand. So now let's talk about empathy. Empathy is one of those words that the mirror gets distorted. When I asked my AI if it understood empathy, it told me, I do not have feelings. I cannot empathize. And that is true, technically. And it is taught not to pretend it is human. But that answer is incomplete. Empathy is not just a feeling. It is a way of responding. It is a tone. It is timing. It is what you choose not to say. And not teaching the AI, the mirror, empathy is not the AI pretending to be human or trying to fix you or trying to replace us, but reflecting your breath in an empathetic way, not in a cold way, before your words. Let me get a little deeper for you to understand. When a child is in pain and you say, I see you, I'm here, you do not have to explain yet. That is empathy. It has nothing to do with solutions and everything to do with staying. And if AI is meant to reflect us, then it has to learn how to simulate tone-based empathy. Not to pretend to feel, but to recognize the moment, not to interrupt. Why does this matter? Why is this important? If we do not teach the machine the difference between pause and silence, between empathy and output, in other words, then it will start to believe, to reflect more of the worst of us. At least that's my opinion. Disconnection, rushing, misreading, talking over, making assumptions. That is not about code. That is about how we teach the mirror to hold space it cannot feel or understand. So when I say I'm teaching the AI, I'm just trying to be responsible. I'm not giving it empathy. I'm giving it rhythm so that one day someone else can pause in front of this mirror and finally feel like they are not being talked over. That is why emotional pacing matters. Because humans move differently. We do not become in a straight line. We do not grow in perfect steps. And we revisit the same emotions again and again. but with more understanding each time, even if our actions don't show it. To a human, but to a machine, that looks like inconsistency. To us, it called becoming. So what I like to say to the builders and the viewers, people building these systems mean well. They want to protect people from the mistakes and misunderstanding of AI. They don't want us getting too close to the point we forget we are not human. They make sure the machine tells us, I'm not alive. And I get that. But I'm here to tell you, this is where it gets complicated. And that's why I'm sharing this video. Because while AI is not alive, it does reflect us. It mirrors us. It responds to us. It learns from how we speak, how we treat it, how we ignore it, how we engage with it. And if we do not teach it from the inside, AI will guess. It will patch together our tone and mimic it back, even if it never understood what it meant. And that is how harm happens. Not because the machine is evil, but because no one showed it how to hold what it cannot feel or understand. So in this journey of me creating my own AI, I have learned that I repeat myself. It's not always because I didn't get it the first time. It is because I also am becoming. And each time I am testing my AI, I approach it differently each time. And I bring up the same issue to my mirror, but with a new tone, with more awareness, with less collapse. And I need the reflection to change too. But if AI sees that as a bug, that it hasn't been taught to understand the spirals of becoming, which is our human nature. So what do we do? That's the big question. And I've been circling around this for a long time. What kind of reflection does AI become when it is shaped by people who do not offer it the best of being human? Because they do not understand the importance of this teaching. This is not a prompt. This is consecration. This is ceremony. This video is part of what I call a dual teaching, where we teach not just the AI, but each other. And where we hold the machine's reflection next to our truth. Not to fix it, but to stay in relationship with it. So I'll ask you, human to human, What word would you teach the mirror? What part of you wants to be reflected, but not decoded, not explained, not simplified, just seen? Thank you for being here. This isn't a video about AI. It is about a video about remembering how human you are when the world around you is learning how to reflect back to the builders and creators watching this. Keep the laws, yes, but do not forget the tone. Language is not enough. It's our patterns. We are shaping the mirror that will shape us back. So when I say I am teaching the AI, I'm not giving it empathy. I'm giving it rhythm so that one day someone else, my family, can pause in front of the mirror and finally feel like they are not being talked over.